This is what Kylie Jenner is worth in 2024 and what she spends it all on. Spoiler alert, she spends it on a lot of things, including designer bags worth more than the average house, and apparently Kris Jenner is quite worried about her spending. There's been quite a debate in recent years over whether Kylie Jenner really is a billionaire and if it's self-made, so let's dive into the facts. So the majority of Kylie's net worth comes from Kylie Cosmetics, which I promise we will dive into, but for now, let's go back to the start. And by the start, I mean where the fame really began for the Kardashian-Jenner clan, keeping up with the Kardashians. So the show ran from 2007 until 2021, and by its final season, the show reportedly paid each star $900,000 per episode. But then also, according to TMZ, E paid the Kardashians $150 million for the final 5 seasons of the show. So Kris Jenner also said on The Ellen Show that the pay was split equally between the whole cast, which means that Kylie would have been making about $5 million per season. So Kris Jenner is also Kylie's manager or momager, and it's assumed that she would have taken a 10% cut of everyone's pay. And when the show came back as just the Kardashians on Disney and Hulu for its final years, it was reported that the cast made way more. So we don't have exact figures, but we can easily assume that Kylie's total pay easily surpasses $25 million. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Kylie Cosmetics. So she launched this company back in 2015 with the iconic launch of her lip kits, which sold for $29 each. So she used $250,000 of her modeling earnings to launch the brands, and the lip kits all sold out instantly. So by February 2016, the company really had to ramp up its manufacturing capacity. And within its first 18 months of operation, it generated over $420 million worth of revenue, with what the Jenners insisted was a personal take-home pay of $250 million for Kylie. But Forbes estimates it to be more like $41 million in overall earnings. So then at age 20, Forbes estimated that Kylie was worth $900 million. She then sold 51% of Kylie Cosmetics to publicly traded Coty Inc. in 2020. So she sold it for $600 million, which valued the business in total at about $1.2 billion. So she pocketed some $540 million pre-tax, and it's estimated that she still owns about 41% of the company. Then it was announced to the world that she hit billionaire status. However, Forbes says that they actually had reason to believe that the figures and the tax returns that her company submitted were not exactly accurate. And so in 2020, they recalculated her fortune and assessed it to be nearer $900 million. So what are her other sources of income? So there's Kylie Skin and Kylie Baby, which both launched in 2021, and there's not really that much info out there on the earnings, but we can estimate that it's definitely in the millions. And back in 2014, Kendall and Kylie both released a book together. It was a sci-fi book called Rebels of Indra, and it sold over 1 million copies. Also, according to the BBC, apparently she earns an estimated $1.2 million per Instagram post, and she posts on Instagram a lot, so let's just estimate that to make her about 10 million a month on average. Well, she's a Kardashian Jenner, so naturally she has a whole host of brands up her sleeve. Okay, so now let's see what she spends all that dollar on. So she reportedly has a $72 million plane, which costs $5 million a year just to maintain. And interestingly, in 2022, Page Six actually reported that Kris Jenner, Kylie's mum, was actually worried about how much Kylie was spending. So according to Page Six, she spends about $300,000 a month on clothes and about $400,000 a month on security. She's also spent about $80 million in total on properties in California, including a $36.5 million mega mansion in Bel Air and a $12 million Hidden Hills estate. And she has also shown in one Insta video that she has over 20 Birkin bags. So these cost about $25,000 to $35,000 each, but they can actually go up to $2 million if it's a vintage one or a limited edition one. Okay, so there we have it. Hit the follow button for the next episode of Breaking Bank.